Alright, all praise to the Most High Yahweh, and to His Son, my brother, Hamashiach Yahweh Shai. Peace and blessings to my brothers and sisters from the Israelite tribes. Thank y'all for joining me once again. With this video is gonna be about a few things about the daughter of Edom, and rather if the people in North and East Africa, if they are Caucasian people, Hamitic people, or Shemitic Edomite people. So let's get into it. So this video is not about the beef or the smoke or the um, infighting that these politicians have with Donald Trump. This is about the downfall of their alliance and about the daughter of Edom. Many of y'all don't know that the Edomites, the Shemitic Edomite people, are of a dark race people. They have subclades or branches among their people that are pale skinned people. Other than that, the majority and the original setting of these people are brown ruddy people. As you can see, Ilhan Omar is. Now, are the Somali people, are her people, Edomite people, or are they Caucasian people, or are they Hamitic people? Now, she's a representative of Minnesota, and she has a dual citizenship because her family became a refugee from Somalia. Hollywood portrayed the Somali people as Hamitic people, as a very dark race people. But in reality, many of those people are this complexion to a darker tint of brownish red. And they have other branches of people in a northern part of Africa and also in Yemen as well. We can't forget Yemen and Greece and Albania, who are even lighter shade of brown and are also pale skinned people. So we have to be mindful of that. So I just chose her as a representative of the downfall of her people and of the alliance that many nations of people had in their kingdom. So she is a part of the hierarchy, and this is her heaven. And now she's in a war of words with people in her alliance. Now, obviously, in times of past, anti-Semitic would just be dealing with people outside the group of being a Shemite harassing another race of people that are Shemites. But due to Hollywood and the media structure and to politics, they just make it to where anti anti-Semitic content is dealing with Jewish related hate when that's not the case. That shouldn't be the case. But um, these people that are in rule, they created all these terms that defend themselves, their speech, and their rights. And the purpose was to cripple other races of people of you know, bringing up the obvious and being able to combat their statements. But they don't want that. They want the obvious to be known about them being the superior, not just race in their society, but the ruling class and share of people over the other nations that they allied or aligned themselves with. So um, that's the understanding of what she represents, her downfall, and her status in every kingdom, and every alliance within those kingdoms have an expiration date, and you're seeing these alliances basically expire in front of our eyes today, and it'll just continue to um, go on until all these groups implode and collapse under the hatred that they built against their own people and their own alliances until war happens. So we have to get into the basic understanding of who her people is. So we're gonna, that's not good. We're gonna get into that. Let's see. So this right here is the infamous YDA sample chart. I'm gonna often come to this page and the EUpedia page for a lot of um, um, template setting with getting a basic perimeter and guideline of who these people are, what marker, getting our people used to visualizing these groups of people. So this is once again the YDA chart of the Sub-Sahara. So real quick, we go over the marker, the YDA marker. You have A and B, which are Hamitic groups and markers. We have E1A, which is a marker for the Shemitic people of Ishmael. We have E1B1A, which is the Shemitic marker for the people of Israel. We have E1B1B, which is the Shemitic marker for the people of Edom. And then we have E2, which is the marker for Median, the Shemitic group of Median. And then the remaining groups are Japhethic, Caucasian groups of people. So you have J, which is normally a tan complected group of people. Not so much pale, but they have tint in their skin. So they'll have a tan to pale complexion. The next one would be R1B. This group has alternating mutation genes or alleles, and so they could create groups of people that are very dark people and very pale people, pale skinned people. So they have their ability to have that within their marker and the branches. So R1B, R1A, the same group of alternating branches that could perform with very dark complexion people and or very pale skin complexion people. And then you have T, which is normally a brown to light brown skin group people with the recessive gene traits of pale skin Caucasian people of uh, R1A group most of the time or some of the time with the blonde hair and the blue eyes. So they can alternate with those recessive traits. Um, T is also known as K. So the K group would be up there with R1B or R1A as the original groups of Caucasian people. And T is originally, or K or T, whichever one you want to use for this marker, is originally from the Greece region. It would be your original Grecian people. So now that we have that understanding, we'll go to Somali people on the chart. Somali. And as I do that, these me tapping on my phone basically blows up the letters. So hopefully that's a good thing, or it could be a bad thing. Okay, the Somalis. So are these people Shemitic, Hamitic, or Japhethic people? Are these Caucasian people that became dark people from mixing with him? Let's see. So they've been described as a Cushitic group with a Asiatic or Afro-Asiatic language. And when they do that, normally that language is like a Shemitic language, and that Shemitic language comes with a code term of Habisha. So let's see if they are Hamitic. So as you can see, A is a very low frequency and B is very low as well. So the Somali people sample pool has not a great trace of Hamitic Y-DNA. The next marker would be E1A, nothing there. The next one would be E1B1A, not much there either. And then the next one, the significant frequency of E1B1B at 3/4 of the frequency is very high. So there you go. You have your Shemitic Edomite group of people. And then you have the R1A at a very low frequency. So at this point, I could say my farewell and then I could end the video. But yet, we haven't proved the point. We haven't gave people the visualization that is needed to better understand what I'm saying. So we'll go up to let's see, we'll go to the South African white people and find out if we can see something. Okay, so we're here and the South African white people. So white people, remember, white people could be from Edom and from Japhet. So the Caucasian groups are R1B, J, and T, and they could also be from E1B, 1B because of the lower branches being pale complected. So are these people, the Somali people, are they um, Caucasian people or are they Shemitic Edomite people based on the stats of South African white people? So as you can see, there shouldn't be any frequency under the A and the B, and then the low frequencies under the E1A and E1B1A, the same with the E1B1B. So the same with the E2, the same with the J. Now, the only frequency that picks up is under the R1B. So remember the term in the sample pool is South African whites. So we have a frequency of 51.6. So we'll scroll up until we find like a high frequency. We find it under the Udume people. They have a very high frequency of the R1B. So we'll click on there to get like a quick reference tribe. So this is a group. We'll go to the related groups right here. So you have the Muslim, Afro-Asiatic, Chadic, the Biu Mandara, the Wandala, and then the Mafa. So the Mafa people is the one that we want to basically uh, get into. What do their picture look like? The Mafa people. So this is a picture of a Mafa guy, and this person is very dark. So that would be your setting for the R1B. So remember this because we're gonna be coming to this R1B or R1A group a lot in the next few topics. So remember, these are the same Y-DNA markers that you can find in Europe and also in some parts of North America. Remember that. This is R1B. So we are done with that. And we are going back to wrap it up with the chart of the Y-DNA. So now we are gonna just really get into like a quick overall summary of different groups being this Shemitic Edomite group of people. So let me see if I can find the Berbers on here. So the Somali people have this 3/4% of that. The Berbers are Asiatic African people or Afro-Asiatic. The same. Let's see. These are the people of Morocco and some parts of Algeria. Let's see. A, nothing, or A is very low frequency. B is nothing. E1A. Now remember, these people also would be known as Arabs and or Moors. And some, settings and groups that are learning this information and Kemet, Pan-Africanism, and the Moorish culture, or even in some of the Israelite groups setting, these people would be Moors. These people would be Arabs. So if you're an Arab, that term in pop culture in modern day is used as children of Ishmael, when all that is technically, when you are referring to Arab, is just dealing with regions of people with similar cultures. So these people wouldn't be the children of Ishmael because the E1A marker is at a very low frequency. So you have A, B, E1A, E1B1A, and then high frequency with E1B1B. So these people are related to the Somali people, and they have a higher frequency in the marker. And then we go into the remaining of the frequency of the other markers, and there's nothing. So are they hiding something from us? Well, why they can't, just call these people Berbers as well in East Africa? They used to call them Berbers in East Africa. What changed? So we have that understanding of the Berber people being Habesha, or Somali people Shemitic. Habesha is just dealing with Shemitic East African people, and that's just a code for certain people in a region which have a a good understanding and know it all of them not being Ishmael or Israel, but them being Edom, because the East region or East Africa used to be the home of Ham, but due to the irony of the slave trade and the Bantu expansions, you basically have low populations of these groups now. And that's another thing that's these groups that used to be allies with each other are facing these population collapse. So we're gonna look at these two Arabic group. So the Arab people with supposed to be E1A. So um, we don't have to scroll down the E1A marker to find that out. We're just gonna go straight to the Arab group of people real quick, because we got that, and then we got like a quick understanding of something that I wanted to share. Let's see. So the Shawa Arabs, they have an Arabic language with a AG, or they have a Arabic description with a Asiatic language. A and B is nothing. E1A is nothing. So at this point, they're not Ishmael. At this point, they are not Israel, and then at this point they are not Edom or Midian. So these people right here are basically all one B, which would be your Japhethic Caucasian group. So when you understand that these are the people that are in Israel, Palestine, Turkey, Lebanon, Saudi Arabia, Iraq, all these are the same people. Those are Japhetic people. Those are not Caucasian people. In Egypt, all those yeah, all those people are Japhetic Caucasian people. They are not Edomite people. Is what I meant. They are Arabs because they are in that region with a similar style culture as everybody due to the desert. But these people are Japhetic Caucasian people, not Shemitic Edomite people. And like I said, the J group and the Japhetic Caucasian race of people can imitate other groups of people. So that's the understanding of that. So we're going to get into this group. Now, these are the Arab people of the Sudan, so they have to be some Hamitic frequency. So we look at there, and it's a low Hamitic frequency. They go A, B is nothing, E1A is nothing, E1B1A is nothing, E1B1B, some frequency, E2, nothing, and J is the marker that is popping for them. So we have two groups of different haplogroups or subclades of Caucasian as Arabs. So many of these Arab groups of people that are in the Near East or Middle East are just Japhetic Caucasian people. And then once you get into Northwest Africa and into certain regions in Africa, these are actually just the Berber group of people who are Shemitic Edomites, not Ishmael. So the other part, let's see. So you also have other anomalies. I think I gotta go back lower. The Tuareg people. So as you can see, the Tuareg people, they have this Berber description with the same type of Shemitic languages of Afro-Asiatic or Asiatic African, and um, these two would be labeled as Arab people. These are people in the uh, beginning interior of the West African perimeter in Mali, Mauritania, Burkina Faso. So let's see about their markers. Are they E1B1A or are they E1B1B or are they Caucasian? Now these are where the anomalies start to happen, and this is where you could figure out who conquer who after a while. So the first group is Burkina Faso, and you have no Hamitic group frequency. E1A nothing. You have E1B1A at a low frequency. Then the next marker would be E1B1B at a high frequency at 3/4. And then right underneath that, you have another very high frequency of E1B1B, and that's in Mali. The only difference where the frequency switches from a a spread out frequency is in Niger. In Niger, you have a a mid range frequency at E1B1A. Then you have a drop off at E1B1B, and then the remaining frequency of a at a third point would be at R1B. So we have to be mindful in certain countries and certain regions that there's a separation of many tribes, and some of our people who are Shemitic Israelite people would be among other Shemitic groups of people and within the same country, but there's a tribal divide between a northern part and a southern part, and even a east or west distinction of these groupings. As you can see with Niger, so and the same thing happens in Cameroon with the Bantu and other people being among each other. Let's see if I could. Cameroon. So you have North Cameroon with a decent frequency of E1B1A, and then you have another part of the North Cameroon, another sample being higher in the R1B, and then you have South Cameroon going back to being high with E1B1A. So we have to, continue to visualize that these other groups of people are dark like us as well, and they'll take our titles, they'll take their titles, it don't matter. They'll take the culture because in Africa, many of these regions used to be major empires and kingdoms. So the different wars that broke out and the different crusades and caliphates that happened and the slave trade basically mixed and made new sub-clans or clans or groups of people that used to knew who they were, but then after the different marriages and the new grouping of people, they became, basically lost from their original group of people of understanding those things, and um, that's just a sign of the time that eventually those people that thought they had the upper hand with slave trades and the different wars for these empires would fall. They would dramatically fall from rule and power. So this is the example, and that's what I wanted to show you. But there's another map real quick because they do show Berber people in East Africa. So in this map, if you can see it, You, you have the Berber people in Morocco, and then you have in Algeria Arab people, and right below them you have the Tuareg. So technically, all these people are the same groups of people in this region. The Berbers, the Tuareg, those Algerian Arabs, they're the same people. Now right here, you have these tribes of Shemitic Edomite people, the Somali people, the Amoro, the Amara people, even the Baha people. These are all, and the Tigray, these are all um, Shemitic Edomite groups with percentages of um, other groups of people of Ham and Japhet. So that's there. That map. What's the other map? I lost it. What was it? It was a Berber map that I had. Let me see if I can find it on here. Is it on here? No. Yeah, I think it's on here. Let me see if it's on here. Yeah, I think it's on here. So yeah, this is just the EUpedia page that I'd like to use. Let's see. Is it there? Is it this? It might be this one. Okay, yeah, on this one, they properly label parts of East Africa as Berbers right here in Egypt, and right here in this region in between Ethiopia and the Horn of Africa. And as you can see how close these Berbers are to Yemen. So all these people are dealing with Hamitic um, settings where the Hamitic people used to be, definitely in Egypt, in the Sudan, and Ethiopia, but now these are places of Berber clans of people, and this is um, something that probably shows you the detail with the slave right route of the sub-Sahara Arab slave trade when these Berber people would trade Bantu people from West Africa to this point in East Africa to Asia. So that's why you probably see these commodities, but we all should know that people was also used as commodity and trade as well. Our people, and also these Berber groups These Berber, Shemitic, Edomite people, they've been not just selling our people, but even up to today, they've been selling their own people into slavery. That's a little known fact to many of us, but they've been enslaving their own people and putting their own people into slavery. And many of their monarchs and chiefs have been, looking the other way. So that's another interesting thing about these Edomite people and about the dramatic fall that is happening to them, you know. So these are supposed to be um, the ruling class of people up there with Ishmael and Ham and the Japhethic groups of people, Moab and Ammon. But yet, this group is the group that is the quickest falling of all out of all these other groups of people. So, and that's a blessing, That means if Edom is falling, all the other groups are gonna um, fall quicker, and as soon as they fall, the other groups in their alliances will fall as quickly, and as sooner than they did. So this is what I wanted to share with you in this video. I hope I edify many of y'all, and I hope you are continuing to build upon the understanding of the differences of groups of people, and I hope you are also learning the YDNA markers. The it is very simple and basic. Once you understand the major groups, then you understand that certain groups have like a subclade or other haplogroups um, that are very close with them, and mostly that's dealing with the Japhethic group of YDNA markers. Other than that, the other groups are different Shemitic and Hamitic groups. And once again, all praise to the Most High Yahweh and to His Son, my brother Amashiach Yahushai, and peace and blessings to my brothers and sisters on the Israelite tribes.